you had enough time to speak with your lawyer, Ms. Wright, about all of the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges, including any potential defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your lawyer?
No, sir.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wright, do you waive formal reading of the indictment, and do you waive any and all defects in the indictment?
I do.
Mr. Evans, do you understand that you are pleading guilty to count 1, entering automobile? The minimum is 1 year, the maximum is 5 years. Count 2, criminal trespass. The minimum is one day, the maximum is 12 months.
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that if you are sentenced as a recidivist under 17-10(7)(b) or C, you will serve the entire prison portion of that sentence imposed without the possibility of parole, and that is true regardless of any advice by anyone else or your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that the state is not withdrawing the recidivist notice that we filed?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that this is a joint recommendation from the state and the defense of count 1, entering automobile, is 5 years to serve 2, and confinement, balance probated. Count 2, criminal trespass, is going to merge into the entering automobile. Do you understand that?
This is one of those courtroom moments that sounds routine, but it's actually huge. The judge is making it crystal clear. Even if both sides recommend a deal, the court can still throw the book at her. A lot of defendants hear plea agreement and think it's guaranteed. It's not. And notice how many times the judge asks, "Do you understand?" That's not filler. That's the court protecting the record in case someone later claims the plea wasn't voluntary.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that the court does not have to accept that recommendation, and the court can sentence you to the maximum on each charge and can run those sentences consecutive or one after the other?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as in other jurisdictions, including the federal court?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, sir. I'm serving the remainder of my time parole now.
All right. Do you understand that if you are currently on probation or parole, your probation or parole may be revoked based off of your entering a guilty plea today?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or special conditions of probation without being subject to the revocation for the balance of the sentence?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that neither the court, your attorney, nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole, the Department of Corrections, the Board of Pardon and Parolees, and no one can guarantee parole no matter what anyone has told you?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea, just as there will be from a conviction following a trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote.
Listen to this carefully, because this is where guilty pleas start affecting way more than just jail time. Voting rights, firearms, employment, even future sentencing. The ripple effects can follow someone for years. People often think a plea just ends a case, but legally, it can reshape your entire future. Would you take a plea deal if it meant avoiding trial, but carrying lifelong consequences?
The right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or use a firearm in a crime in the future, you will be guilty of an additional felony, which could carry 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up the following rights? There are going to be about 80 or...
And here comes the biggest constitutional moment of the hearing. The judge is listing every right she's giving up: jury trial, remaining silent, confronting witnesses, appealing conviction, all of it. This is basically the legal system's last exit before commitment. Once that guilty plea goes through, undoing it becomes incredibly difficult.
9 of them. I'm going to read all of them, then I'll come back to you and ask you if you understand you're giving up those rights. The right to a trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to the assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case.
Whoa! Did you catch that hesitation? I ain't gonna say I'm in fact guilty. That instantly changes the energy in the courtroom. Judges need a clear, voluntary admission before accepting a plea. For a second there, it sounded like she was backing away from the deal in real time. And you can hear the court immediately circle back to lock the answer down properly for the record.
The right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up each and every one of those rights that I just mentioned?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No, sir.
Is it your decision to waive these rights that we just talked about and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
I ain't gonna say I'm in fact guilty, but doing it for the best of my knowledge. Well, I'm guilty.
All right, so let's go back. Is it your decision to waive these rights that we just talked about and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Now, the case shifts from legal procedure into storytelling. Up until this point, it's been rights, warnings, and technical language. But this factual basis is where prosecutors paint the picture of what they believe actually happened, almost like giving the jury trial version in fast-forward form. And pay attention to surveillance details, because prosecutors love building timelines from tiny behavioral clues.
Sorry.
How do you plead to the charges as to indictment number 25 SC 006417? How do you plead the charge count 1, entering automobile, and count 2, criminal trespass?
I'm guilty.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Freely.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you have 30 days from today to file a direct appeal?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you have from 30 days from today until the end of the term of court, whichever one is longer, to file a motion seeking to withdraw your guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you only have 4 years from today for a felony charge and 12 months today for a misdemeanor charge to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness/constitutionality of this guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if I can just have 1 second.
Yes.
And Your Honor, I'm going to start with the defendant's, with the factual basis for this particular plea. And I'm going to talk through while the video is actually playing, Your Honor.
Can I ask just one thing? Do we need probation? We're good.
We will need probation.
Is there any way you can let them know? Thank you. Okay, sorry.
So, Your Honor, had this case gone to trial, the state would have expected the evidence would have shown on or about July 8th of 2025. It really starts on the 7th, in which this defendant's sister rented a vehicle.
That moment where the person hides from the blue Tesla? Prosecutors absolutely love details like this because they argue it shows consciousness of guilt. In other words, if someone acts like they don't want to be seen, the state will say they knew they were doing something wrong. Tiny actions on surveillance footage can become massive pieces of a criminal case once they're explained in court.
And she loaned it to her daughter. And it was at that point that her daughter gets a phone call around 7 p.m. from the defendant, her uncle. It is at that time that her uncle tells her, hey, my bike has went dead. I need for you to come and pick me up. So what does she do? She goes and picks him up. While she goes and picks him up, he says, let me borrow the car. I need to go to my friend's house. I'll be back in 5 minutes. It is at that particular point that she loans this defendant the car. And as you see, this is the red Hyundai. And this is the car going inside of the parking garage at 44 Krog Street. Once the car enters the parking garage, the car will back into the parking spot next to the 2024 Jeep Wagoneer. That Jeep Wagoneer is the car that's listed in the indictment. The individual exits the car wearing what we believe to be a gray or white baseball cap. He takes off the baseball cap. He goes to the back of the Jeep Wagoneer, looks inside of the car. At this particular time, we believe this is when he notices the items in the trunk. Those items are black suitcases. You would notice that there was just a highlight of the white writing on the front of this particular person's shirt. That will come in handy. This is the person going to the passenger side, shining lights to find more items in the particular vehicle. At some point, there's going to be a blue Tesla that will pull up. At that time, that person will, the person on the video will be seen hiding so that the blue Tesla cannot see him. This is the part where he's hiding. Again, goes back to the back.